Imagine if you had the chance to relive your last day on Earth, and even better, if you had the chance to solve your unsolved murder, would you do it? Hi guys and welcome to Fandom Newbie. My name is Shruti, and if the last thing that I said interested you guys, then I think that you're going to love The Strange Death of Anindya Sundar by Anish Deb. This book was originally written in Bengali and was later translated into English, and it is also available on the Storytel app as an audiobook narrated by Rahul Bose. The book basically follows a mystery novel writer named Anindya Sundar who one day finds himself in heaven in front of an angel. And when the angel tells him that the way that Anindya Sundar has died is because someone has murdered him, Anindya Sundar gets really angry and he demands to know who has killed him. But when the angel tells him that he is not authorized to reveal the murderer, Anindya Sundar basically gets even more angry, and so to pacify him, the angel sends Anindya Sundar back to Earth on his last day. And he basically gives Anindya Sundar from the time he wakes up on his last day till the time he is murdered to figure out who his murderer is. What follows is the story of Anindya Sundar's investigation as he talks to people who he thinks are suspects, weeds them out, and tries to figure out who his killer is. Now, there are a few things that I really loved about the book, and there were some which were like kind of okay. So let's start with the pros first. As I mentioned before, this is available as an audiobook on the Storytel app, and in fact, it is a Storytel original that has been narrated by Rahul Bose, and that's where I listened to it. And honestly, the way Rahul Bose has narrated this story is just so much fun, and it makes it so entertaining. He's kind of like changed his voice for all the different characters that are portrayed in this story. And because of that, and because his diction is so clear and proper, and because he's kind of changed the way he talks and the way like each character sounds differently, it really feels as if you're listening to a play being put on in front of you. Like, I imagine this entire story like it was a play on stage. Like, literally, I could imagine each scenario and each scene being brought to life in front of my eyes because of the way Rahul Bose was narrating it. And I just had so much fun, and it was really, really entertaining. So I highly recommend that you listen to the audiobook version of this book because Rahul Bose has just brought it to life in a very fun and entertaining way. The next thing about this book is that it is written very, very simply. So the language is extremely simple. So it's perfect for beginners to pick up. So if you're looking for a really engaging and fun thriller novel, that is also very short. Like, the book is, I think, around 45 pages long, if I'm not mistaken, and the audiobook is only an hour long. So if you actually listen to it at like 1.6x speed, which I usually do when I listen to audiobooks, you can adjust the speed when you're listening to audiobooks. If you do that, then it actually gets over in 40 minutes. So it's a really quick, fast-paced, fun thriller book that you can consume very easily. So perfect for beginners. And the last thing that I really loved about this book is how Anish Deb has kind of done the entire investigation. So basically, how this book is structured is that Anindya Sundar has been killed and he is sent back in time to his last day. So essentially, he has to solve his murder before it has even happened. But generally in murder mystery novels, it is that the murder happens and then you leave behind clues, and then you, based on the mistakes the murderer has done, you catch the murder. Here, Anindya Sundar had to kind of preempt motives, preempt things that were happening so that he could catch the murderer before the murderer even committed the crime, which was such a different take on like a murder mystery and such a unique way in which a murder mystery is written. And it really built the intrigue and the interest in the case throughout my listening experience with this audiobook. However, with that said, there were two cons I can say about the book. The first one is, I mentioned this as a pro before, which is that it's a really short book and it's written very, very simply. But I also feel because the book is so short, certain characters, certain motivations, certain scenes aren't fleshed out enough. And I feel like there are a lot of conveniences that happen in the story. And I think it's because of the length, because maybe it was meant to be a short story or something. So things are just not fleshed out enough in the story. I know that this was supposed to be a very simple, fast-paced, intriguing thriller story, but adding a bit more nuance to characters, a bit more to their motivations, I feel would have made this an even better story. And honestly, even if it was a little bit longer, the story itself was interesting to hold readers' attention. So it didn't need to be this short. So I wish that there was just a bit more nuance, a bit more character development that was added. And honestly, if the audiobook could have been longer also, it would have been a plus, because listening to Rahul Bose's narration was just absolutely so much fun. So I wish that it was longer also because of that, which is a very selfish motive for a book being longer. But yeah. The second thing that I want to mention is that I'm not sure if a person would read this book, they would enjoy it as much as I enjoyed it because I listened to the audiobook. Now, the reason why I'm saying this is that, of course, Rahul Bose's narration played a huge role in me loving this audiobook. But the way that it is written also, in terms of the structure, is not, it's more, like I mentioned, it's more like a play, because there's a lot more dialogue in this book than there is like setting development or description of places or description of characters. It is very, very dialogue heavy, so it really does read like a play, or it reads like a movie script or something like that, because it is so dialogue heavy, which is why I feel that the audiobook was perfect, because it was Rahul Bose's inflections when it came to portraying different characters. So if you read the book, it might not be as enjoyable as listening to the audiobook version of it, because it does really bring this whole play and movie aspect of the way it is written to life. Overall though, this is a really fun, fast-paced, intriguing mystery thriller story that is brought to life by Rahul Bose's amazing narration. So I highly recommend that you guys check out The Strange Death of Anindya Sundar by Anish Deb. Now, like I mentioned, this is available on the Storytel app as an audiobook, and I will leave a link where you guys can access the audiobook directly on the Storytel app down below, so you can check that out. And I'll also leave a link to where you guys can download Storytel app if you haven't already. I have spoken about this app multiple times on my channel. You guys know that it's one of my favorite audiobook apps. But if you guys don't know, Storytel is an audiobook app that offers you access to over 2 lakh audiobooks on its app, and these audiobooks are New York Times bestsellers. They are international bestsellers narrated in English, as well as Indian audiobooks narrated in over 11 Indian languages. And like the audiobook that I mentioned in this video, Storytel also develops a bunch of Storytel originals which you can only access on their app, and these audiobooks are generally narrated by famous celebrities as well as well-known authors. Having a good narrator is one of the most important things in an audiobook. So to have celebrities as well as well-known authors and well-known voice actors narrate these stories really bring them to life and just give you an amazing experience. In fact, I'm listening to another audiobook right now on the Storytel app, which is The Discovery of India by Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru. And this one has been narrated by Darpan Mehta, who is another really famous voice artist or like voiceover artist in India, and so far I'm really enjoying it. You guys know that I've been on a huge history kick ever since I did the collaboration last week for Independence Day, so it's been quite a good experience listening to this audiobook. I'll leave a link in the description box below to all the audiobooks that I've mentioned in this video, as well as a link to where you can download the Storytel app, so check it out. And yeah, that was my video for today. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, give this video a big fat thumbs up. Leave a comment down below letting me know which is your favorite audiobook that you have listened to. And of course, do subscribe to my channel for more book related videos. I'll see you guys next time. Bye!